What's going on, everybody? All right, now I've never not shown you something that has went wrong with my truck ever, and I'll always tell you all anything that's wrong with my truck, and something's going on right now. It's not affecting the way it drives or anything like that, but there's a light flashing that I want you all to see, because I don't know what it is exactly. I looked up something real quick. It said something about an engine immobilizer. Some people was talking about if you had a remote start on your truck, and I did remote start the truck before I left the house, so that could have something to do with it. I don't know. I'm gonna read up more on it and try to add it to the end of this vehicle or end of this video whenever I figure out what it is. But right now I want to stick you down in the dash and let you see it. It doesn't stay on all the time, it just blinks periodically. So if you have any more information, please let me know. But like I said, I'm going to try to look up what causes this and let you all know at the end of this video. I'm not going to do another video. I'm going to actually try to put at the end of this one what this is. So let me get the camera turned around and I'll show you what's doing. All right, give it just, there it was. I know you can see it popping red right there. It looks like a little lock in a vehicle right down there at the bottom of the tack gauge. And it's just flashing like that right there. It's constant. It hasn't stayed on, it hasn't gotten any faster or any slower, but it's just a little lock and like a vehicle behind it. Okay, so when I get home, I'm going to do a little bit of research on this. When I get home, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the truck off and then restart it with a key and see if it still does it. Because like I said, in some of the stuff I read real quick, it did say that something about a remote start. Mine does have the 12-volt solution remote start. It remote started fine. It's running fine. I don't have any issues right now, just that little light's flashing. So what we're going to do is when I get home, I'm actually going to just start it or cut the vehicle off. I'm open the door and shut it so it resets everything. And then we will restart it and see if it's still doing it. And if it doesn't do it, then I'll remote start it and see if it does it then, and see if it has something to do with remote starting it. But then I'll do some research and add at the end of the video what could be the culprit if that doesn't fix it. So when we get home, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, you can see it's still doing it. We're at home, still doing it. I'm in park, so it's doing it in park. So what we're gonna do now is just cut the vehicle off. It's actually still flashing with the vehicle off. Let's open the door. Still flashing with the door open. Shut the door. Still flashing. Let's lock the door. Okay, we locked the door. It's staying on solid. So is it going to go off? That is the question. I've never noticed that staying on the whole time. Maybe it's just on because my headlights are on. Maybe when my auto headlights go off, it'll go off. Maybe it's reading the key is in my pocket. Let me unlock it. So I unlocked it, and now it's flashing again. See what happens when I start it. It has appeared to have stopped. So when I started it with the key, it looks like it stopped. It has stopped. It's not flashing anymore. Let me put it in gear, backing up, make sure that being in gear doesn't make a difference. Let me put it in drive. It does appear like it must have had something to do with the remote start, because once I start it with the key, it stopped doing it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut it off, and then it flashes. I'm gonna lock it. I don't know why it just stays on. I've never noticed that light's just staying on like that. Let me turn off my headlights. Headlights are off, that light's still on. Now that right there, no matter how small that little light is, seems like it would drain your battery. I've never noticed that little light being on, ever. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't normally do it. There it went off. So it's flashing again. Nope, yep. So maybe it just constantly flashes and I've just never paid attention to it because I've never actually locked the vehicle. So I'm going to remote start it now and see if it continues to flash. Okay, so we remote started the vehicle. The light came on. So I'm gonna stick the key in ignition. I just stuck the key in ignition and turned it on. I hit my memory seats, which is what I did when I got in it. It's still off. I'm just curious if that stays on like a flash to let you know your alarm is set or something. I'm in gear, I'm moving. It's not doing it now. It's totally not doing it, but y'all seen it was doing it while I was driving. So there must have been like something got confused with the remote start computer system or something like that, and it caused it to flash, but it seems to be fixed now. I don't know if that flashes. I don't know if that's always flashed. I've never noticed it flashing. All right, let's cut it off, see what happens. And then it starts back flashing. I lock the doors. I've never noticed that light staying on. That doesn't mean it doesn't, but I have never noticed that light staying on. And I've definitely never noticed it flashing. So it did go off there a minute ago and just start flashing. And maybe that's normal to warn, you know, people who are breaking in that there's an alarm system on this. I've just never noticed it. There we go. There's the flash. And maybe it does do it all the time. I don't know. I'm actually going to sit here for a little while, just in the truck and see if it stops doing it. I don't think it will. And I'm actually going to Google and see if that flashes when the truck's locked. And I'll let y'all know, because I've never noticed that. Maybe it does it, like I said, as a theft deterrent, but I've never noticed it, so now I got to look it up. Okay, so after some research, I guess that's been blinking the entire time. It's the engine immobilizer light. I've just never noticed it blinking. But it is not supposed to do it while you're driving, which is definitely what threw me off. It never stopped. And it appears to have fixed itself. I guess it just got confused. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's not blinking now. It seems to have fixed itself. I'm going to try to remote start it again. As soon as you turn it off, it does start blinking. So I'm going to try to remote start it now. There we go. Had to hit it one more time. Okay, it's on, but that's because the key is not in the ignition. The key is what's supposed to shut this engine immobilizer off. So you can see it's on. I'm gonna go ahead and put my key in ignition, turn it, and you can see it's still off. So I'm assuming it just got a little confused. Nothing was wrong with the vehicle. A lot of people say when this happens, their truck won't run. It's like it won't even start. But mine started fine, had no issues. I think it just got confused a little bit when I remote started it. That's what I think. Cut it off. Oh, I started to say I'm still in a remote start. I never did put it in gear. If you don't put it in gear, you can take your key out and remote start will still be running, but then it goes back to blinking. Okay, so there it is. It was okay, and that's blinking with the truck off like it is right now. But if it's doing it while you're driving, that's not okay. Fortunately for me, that's not an issue. It seems to have corrected itself. Probably just some fluke that happened when I remote started it. But we seem to be good to go now. So I wanted to show you what it was doing, because I've always never hid anything from you guys. If I have an issue with something, you're the first ones to know, because you might experience the same thing and same issues that I do with my truck, and I want you all to know what it is and what causes it. I have never noticed that light blinking in my dash, but apparently, from what I read, it does it all the time. Should not do it while you're driving. Hopefully, if it does, you don't have any issues with it, and it corrects itself next time you restart it. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.